Here are the hidden reasons that you're losing referrals. Welcome to the Home Services Revolution. I'm Chris Moore. Your customers aren't coming back because you're treating them like transactions instead of relationships. Think about it. You show up, you fix their problem, you collect payment, and then you disappear until they have another emergency. Meanwhile, your competition, they're staying connected. They're following up and building trust even when there's no work to be done. Industry data shows acquiring new customers can cost up to 5 times more than retaining your existing ones. Yet most home service businesses keep chasing new leads instead of nurturing the customers that they already have. What if you could turn every job into a long-term relationship and you did it only using a simple 3-part formula? The businesses that master this approach never worry about where their next customer is coming from. But first, we need to understand exactly what's going wrong. Most home service owners think that they're in the repair business, but they're actually in a relationship business. Research shows lifetime customer value triples if you have a strong relationship. Yet this mistake is costing them thousands in lost revenue every single month. Let me paint you a picture of what's happening in your business right now. Your typical service call looks like this. You show up at the customer's house. You diagnose the problem. You fix it, and you collect payment. And then you leave. This feels efficient and professional in the service. It may even look like it. Your customer seems happy. Their problem is solved. But here's what's really happening behind the scenes. You're training your customers to see you as a commodity. You're just another repair guy they call when something breaks. They don't think about you until their water heater fails or their AC stops working. When that happens, they might call you, or they might call whoever shows up first on Google. You've given them no reason to choose you over anyone else. Let me show you the hidden cost of this approach. Industry data shows that acquiring new customers can cost up to 5 times more than retaining those existing ones. Mentioned that before. If you're spending $200 to get a new customer through marketing, you could spend $40 to keep that same customer coming back to you again and again. Lowering your overall customer acquisition cost through retention can double or triple your profit without extra marketing spend. But most businesses, they ignore this math completely. Transaction-focused businesses create their own feast or famine cycles. You're always scrambling for that next customer. You're looking forward. You're constantly chasing leads. You're constantly competing on price, constantly starting over with a stranger that you don't know, who don't know you, and they don't trust you yet. Take this electrician I know whose repeat clients increased from 22% to 64% after systematizing follow-up. Before that change, he was stuck in the same cycle. Meanwhile, your relationship-focused competitors have customers calling them first. These customers refer their friends and their neighbors. They choose these businesses, even at higher prices, because they trust them. They don't shop around because they already know who they want to work with. Here's the psychological principle that explains why this happens. When customers have a problem, they're stressed. They're anxious. If you've ever had a problem in your home that you need to solve quickly, you probably feel the same way. Once you solve that problem, though, they feel relief. We felt it. But they also want to forget about the stress as quickly as possible. I just want to get past this. If you're just the guy who fixed their problem, then they forget about you too. It's nothing personal. It's just human nature. They'll remember your name while you're there. They'll remember your name when you're making that reminder call or when you're checking to make sure that they're at their home as you're headed there. But they'll forget it right after that. Every interaction you have with a customer is either building that future business potential or destroying it. When you treat customers like transactions, you're destroying that potential. When you treat them like relationships, well, you're building an asset that can pay dividends to you for years. The businesses that thrive long-term understand something important. The real work begins after all the tools are put away. They're not just fixing problems. They're building relationships that last beyond the service call. They're creating customers who become advocates, who think of them first, who recommend them to others. But knowing you need to build that relationship and then actually doing it systematically, that's really two different things. There's a specific approach that makes this transformation possible. But I want to pause here for just a second and ask you this. If you've ever wondered, where do I actually stand as a business owner? Then I have something special for you. I created something called the Trade Biz Score. It's a short, powerful self-assessment built for home service pros, HVACs, plumbers, construction, all the different trades who want to grow with more clarity and a lot less chaos. In just 3 minutes, you'll get a customized snapshot of where your business is strong, where it's leaking profit, and what you can do to scale smart without burning out. So while you're listening, head over to tradebizscore.com and take that quiz. It's free, and it just might be the spark that you've been needing. All right, let's jump back into the show and how we create raving fans with the customer experience formula. The customer experience formula breaks down into 3 simple parts that work together. Consistency plus communication plus follow-up equals that trust and loyalty. Most businesses think that great service is enough, but great service without the other 2 components just creates frustrated customers who expected more. Research shows consistency alone improved quality scores by 40% in documented case studies. So let's start with that consistency. This means delivering the same high-quality experience every time you interact with a customer. Now, this is not about being perfect because things are going to happen. What it is, it's about being predictable in the best way possible. When you show up on time every appointment, when you protect their floors with shoe covers every visit, when you clean up after yourself on every single job, you're building trust through consistency. Companies with over 50 documented standard operating procedures reduce variability and build stronger customer trust. This doesn't happen overnight. And some of those standard procedures, just simply very small, very quick things that you can do consistently. And this matters more than the occasionally exceeding expectations because customers want to know what to expect from you. If they know what to expect, they plan for it, they receive it, they will call you again and again. Communication, that's the second part of the formula. This means keeping customers informed throughout the entire process. Before you arrive, you call the customer to confirm your appointment window. When you're running late, you text them immediately. They shouldn't have to wait. If you said you were going to be there between 2 and 4 and it's 2 o'clock and you're not there, you may want to give them a text, let them know I'm going to be closer to 3, I'm going to be closer to 4. While you're working, you explain what you're doing in terms that they can understand. When you find additional problems, you show them exactly what's wrong and give them clear options. You've been through this 1,000 times before. This is most likely their first time going through whatever problem that they have. They don't understand it. They've not been there. They don't know the jargon. They don't know how this works. That's why they called you. Explain it to them. Be communicative. And then you can use automated communication systems like text and emails. And this improves responsiveness by 37% at one HVAC company that I worked for. This eliminates anxiety. It builds confidence in your professionalism. And yes, some people will realize these are automated, but they appreciate the knowledge and the communication. The follow-up component is then the most overlooked piece that separates good businesses from great ones. This happens after you complete the work, maybe even after they paid you. I call it the 2-2-2 system. It works particularly well. 2 days, do a check-in call. 2 weeks, send a satisfaction email. And 2 months later, give them a maintenance tip about whatever that you did. Give them a reminder. You may have even given them some tips at the end of your visit about how to take care of whatever it is. Send them that. Give them that tip. This structured approach begins to also do something else. It reduced no-shows by over 60% in documented cases. What it did is it turned follow-up into this referral engine, and people wanted to meet you. When they made that appointment, they already knew about you. They knew about your follow-up. They knew about your communication, and they made an extra special point to be there at the appointment they made with you. You reach out to them when you're in their neighborhood doing work. This keeps you connected to customers long after the problem is solved. Hey, I'm going to be at the house 3 doors down from you tomorrow. If there's anything that we need to check, come in and do some spring maintenance, fall maintenance, etc. Now is the perfect time. And when you do that, your customers become advocates who actively promote your business to their friends and their neighbors. They tell people about how professional you are, how well you communicate, and how you actually care about them after the work is done. That's when the real magic happens. When this systematic approach creates something most business owners, they just never experience. And a systematic follow-up system. And it's one that runs itself. What this does is it creates a pipeline of future business that keeps flowing after that original work, that original relationship that you started is built. The most profitable businesses have customers who call them years later saying, I've been meaning to reach out, and that doesn't happen by accident. Here's what intentional relationship development looks like in practice. You finish a job, and most of your competitors, they're going to disappear until the next emergency. They'll leave a little sticker. They'll give you a magnet, but then it's silence. You, on the other hand, you stay connected. You send seasonal reminders. You share helpful tips. You check in when you're working in their neighborhood. This creates those opportunities that your competition, they never see because they're not looking for them. But here's the problem. Most follow-up efforts fail. They're either too pushy or they're too inconsistent. We try it for a week and then we don't do anything for months. We've not really set it up as automated. We do it when we have time. And then when we do it in a pushy way, we're too insistent because, hey, we need some business right now. Customers realize it and they feel like they're being sold then every time you contact them because you only contact them when you have time. And what ends up happening is they start avoiding those calls. They delete your emails. They send them to spam. They see your name on their phone and think, well, here we go again. He'll try and sell me something. The solution is that we need to offer a value-first follow-up. This means staying connected by providing useful information, not just asking for more business. Research shows that sharing seasonal maintenance tips, like the winter freeze protections, those increased repeat service bookings by 22% in one pool service company that we looked at. You send them a winter preparation checklist before the cold weather hits. You share a quick video about a maintenance tip that saves them money. You text them about a special deal that actually helps them, not just helps you make more money. And here's how to create a systematic approach that maintains contact without being intrusive. Map out a simple contact calendar. Call within 24 hours after completing the work. Send an email at 7 days, follow up with a text at 30 days, just to check on the job that you just did. And then check in seasonally with helpful reminders. That 2 + 2 + 2 program works really well. This keeps you top of mind without becoming annoying. A plumbing company that I worked with used phone-based follow-up and it dropped complaints by 37% using the structured approach. One of the biggest things is they found out about issues before they hit reviews, before they hit complaints, before they started telling their friends. You can automate parts of this process and still keep that personal touch that builds those real relationships. There's a lot of field maintenance, field service management software that will automatically send out reminder emails and text message sequences for those follow-up calls. You can create video messages that feel personal even when they're automated. The key is making the technology work for you without making customers feel like they're talking to a robot. This system identifies opportunities for additional services before customers even realize they need them. That gap between what you know they need and what they know they need. When you're checking in regularly, you catch small problems before they become emergencies. You remind them about maintenance that they forgot to do. You offer services that they didn't know that you provided. They're happy with you. They would call you if they knew you did that. When you have a follow-up system that adds value to them consistently, customers start seeing you as a trusted advisor, not just a repair guy that they call, that commodity that we talked about earlier. They call you first when problems arise, sometimes just to ask for your opinion on a home improvement project, something that you can give them through your relationship good advice about. And when they need help, they'll definitely call you. They'll also recommend you to their friends without you even having to ask for those referrals. But there's still something missing that prevents most businesses from getting the referrals they deserve. The hidden reason you're losing referrals isn't your service quality. It's not that you're systematically building relationships that's beyond the service call. You're treating customers like transactions instead of people you want to work with again and again. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to audit your current customer interactions. Where are you treating relationships like transactions? When was the first time you followed up with a customer just to check in on them? And track one specific metric, like customer satisfaction score or repeat business rate, and to measure your progress. Start implementing that customer experience formula with your very next service call. Focus on consistency, on communication, on follow-up. Build those systems as you go, and your customers will notice the difference immediately. Before you go, I've got one last thing I want to mention again that could change the game for your business. If you're tired of guessing where your business stands, or if you're ready to grow but not sure what's holding you back, go take the Trade Biz Score. It's a free 3-minute quiz built specifically for owners just like you. You instantly see where you're strong, where you're stuck, and what to do next to scale your business with a lot less stress. Head over to tradebizscore.com. Get your score today. You work hard. Make sure you're building on the right foundation. This is Chris Moore, Home Services Revolution. I'll see you next time.